Hi guys, I hope that you are doing well, and yes, I am back. To be honest with you, I don't think I'm back full time. I'm gonna be honest, every time I make a plan, something comes up, something happens, and I don't actually proceed with it, and I just don't want to give those promises anymore. I did take a break, a desired break, a very needed break, and I'm still honestly on that break. I don't know when exactly I'm going to be back full time. However, I do these yearly readings every single year, and I could not just miss this. I had to come back and do them for you guys. Another thing I wanted to mention is that I stopped doing personal readings. However, I am offering currently a 2022 Lenormand reading, and that is the only reading that I'm currently offering. Okay, I am not offering any kind of short readings, any kind of tarot readings, any kind of astrological readings at the moment. 2022 Lenormand Grand Tableau is the only reading that I'm offering, and the reason why is because I love Grand Tableau. It does consist of 36 cards. It does cover absolutely every area of your life, and you're also able to pick characters in your spread, pick signifiers for people in your life. For example, I don't know, your partner, your parent, somebody else that you're interested in. There's a whole picture of your life that can be seen in Grand Tableau. So for all the details, just go to my website if you would like a 2022 Lenormand reading. But we are going to move on to our 2022 tarot reading for each zodiac sign. Hi Libra, I hope that you're doing well, and this is going to be your 2022 tarot reading. So that's a very exciting time for you, I think, because Saturn is actually making a positive aspect to you. It's making a trine, whether your sun is in Libra or ascendant or moon. I think you are going to benefit anyway from Saturn energy. But also another thing is that you are really not going to be influenced as much by the eclipses that are going to be happening in fixed signs now. You're kind of going to have maybe more of a peaceful year. What we will obviously see with tarot, but it's also going to be full of possibly positive events, but positive in a way that they're not grand, they're not big, they're just good, but they may not be life-changing. Okay, but we will see whether or not tarot is seeing any kind of life changes for you guys. So Libra, what can Libra expect to happen in the first 6 months of 2022? Talking about no life changes, no crazy changes. We've got the Empress, we've got Death, we've got 10 of Cups, and we've got King of Pentacles. Well, what can I say here? I mean, yeah, you are going to have some freaking changes. And I mean, they are so positive that it almost, I don't even know how to describe them. Yes, death is here, which can be intimidating, but death is just a cycle ending. I mean, guys, no matter how old you are, no matter where you live, what you've done in life, you have had cycles end, and you have had new ones begin. Every time you, let's say, end a relationship, whether it's a friendship, a personal relationship, a relationship with a colleague or a boss, right? Any kind of professional relationship, the cycle ends. That's the death card. Every time you meet someone new, you start networking with them, or maybe you start dating them. That's a new cycle. That's also death in some way, because the old one died down, so the new one can start. And here, there is a major focus on yourself and on your image, the Empress. Now, if you are a male and you have a hard time relating to this, I want to tell you a very separate type of meaning here. It seems like not only that you will establish some kind of financial stability in 2022, and that actually relates to both, okay, to both genders here. I mean, I gotta mention that, and it seems like there will also be enough to share with someone else. It seems like you're going to achieve a certain status in 2022 that will either allow a really nice, pleasant energy, pleasant life with someone else, or for yourself if you, let's say, prefer to stay single. So how would that play out? You may find a great job that will really boost the financial situation of your family. For example, you may start a business that's going to be very beneficial for you and, let's say, somebody else here. You may find a wonderful relationship that's going to make you happy, that's going to put you kind of almost in a change of status. Let's say you were single and now you're in a relationship, but it's more significant than that. It's like from in a relationship you go to, let's say, engaged or married. You know what I mean? Something like that here. Because the old cycle of who you are, your identity almost, is going to die down in the next 6 months and the new one will start. I mean, again, you know, it can be related to so many different things in life. It can be a different status change, like not necessarily that you get married, right? Or not necessarily that you, I don't know, find a new job of some kind. You know, it is about maybe status on the subconscious level, not necessarily, like, say, student and now you're graduate, right? Not necessarily like that, but maybe within yourself. Like, I used to be this simple person, you know, I used to just, let's say, work for someone else, and I wasn't really ambitious and I didn't really want to do anything else with life. I was just following a routine, you know, things were pretty simple. And now you're like, hey, I want to do this and this and that, and I feel so great about my path and I feel so ambitious. I have changed, you know, my priorities have changed, my motivations, my goals have changed, right? I'm way more ambitious now. I'm way more hardworking now, and so on. You know, that's how this could influence your image. And especially for females, you know, the Empress, I'm sorry, is such a feminine card. Feminine energy, beauty in every sense of the word. You know, it's attraction, it is creativity, right? Planting seeds for something. So what could be happening here is that someone is going, one of Libras or all, are going to be really working on their physical appearance, on their inner as well, inner being, and kind of how you feel and how you present yourself to others. It's a lot of work on the creative image of yours. Like, you're going to be more creative. You will have, maybe it's just not going to be as crazy of a year, you know, like when it comes to, let's say, challenges and having to kind of overcome a lot of things and having to work hard. Maybe it's just going to be more of an easier going year for you, to where you can really focus on something pleasant, on something creative. You can focus on, let's say, I don't know, weight loss, weight gain, maybe, you know, you're going to decide to kind of change your appearance completely. Maybe you're going to decide to add like a very creative hobby into your life, you know, that's going to benefit you. And by doing that, you are completing an old cycle that no longer serves you. It's kind of like throwing away the clothes that no longer fit you. You know, it's that type of energy here. And also, I do want to mention that this is just such a flexible combination, guys. It can play out in so many different ways, you know, but an important one here is gaining the stability that you can share with someone else. This stability may not have to be financial, but it can easily mean a romantic relationship that is stable with a reliable person. It could be maybe an earth sign that you may start a relationship with. It could be maybe someone that you meet through work, someone that you meet through school. It could also be someone that kind of shares the same hobbies, you know, like a creative hobby, especially if maybe something connected to art, to music, you know, something like that here. But it's beautiful because there is a partnership seen in the cards. You know, there is you and someone else, and you're really working on good things together, you know. And I do want to mention that I have 10 of Wands at the bottom. Don't fear 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is simply effort. It is effort. It is understanding that nothing falls on your lap. It is the understanding that you need to do the work, that relationships are work, that money is gained with work, right? That's the understanding here. So there is nothing wrong with getting 10 of Wands at the bottom. You know, it only shows that you will be working towards these things, that you will be, like, you will care, you know, like, that you will care to want happiness, and you will care to save that happiness, and you will be happy here with 10 of Cups, with the Empress. I mean, it's almost like, you know, death wants you to end things that are keeping you from happiness, but it's almost like it's your own transformation. It's the transformation within you. There may not be crazy changes within your job. Let's say you suddenly get fired and you seek a new job, and that's where you find your peace and your motivation. You know what I mean? It may not quite be like that. It may be that inner transformation, that inner knowing, out of the blue, maybe, like, I was not meant for this. I was meant for, you know, this, and then going and achieving it. I don't know. We'll see. Now, what about last 6 months of the year for Libra? What can Libra expect in the last 6 months of the year? There will be many connections here that will be coming your way. And I would say that the last 6 months of the year is very busy when it comes to networking, when it comes to just communication with people overall. You know, there will be different people coming into your life, different offers, lots of communication. You will definitely be busy. And it can also just mean that your energy levels are going to be very high. Like, you will be kind of, you know, life will be hectic. It doesn't have to be actual communications. However, you know, there may be some emotional detachment from certain connections that are present in your life. This does not mean that you're going to leave them behind, no, but you may actually feel potentially detached from the circle of friends, from maybe the professional circle that you currently have. What was that? I'm terrified of bugs, by the way, and it's really, like, still warm in Florida. I think it's in the 60s right now, if not in the 70s, and I'm just sitting here in my yard, and I love recording in nature, and I'm sitting in my yard and I'm like terrified of seeing a bug jump on the table or something like that. But anyway, so, you know, you may feel emotional disconnect from your circle, from someone that you interact with quite a lot, from maybe a certain activity. And, you know, usually 4 of Cups would be that first indication that you may dump it later, that you may leave it behind later, that you may lose all your interest completely and just let it go. You know, because eventually 4 of Cups will turn into that 8 of Cups that everybody knows. So I would say that, you know, there might be the first indication here that you are getting tired of someone or something. And you will be sorting out those emotions. You'll be working with those emotions deeply. However, we have Queen of Swords and Judgment, and I would like to interpret this in two ways. First of all, being a Libra, this is your card, right? Queen of Swords, whether you're a male or a female. And here you could be making a final decision, a final judgment on how to narrow down your circle, how to narrow down your plans and goals and aspirations. And by narrowing down, I literally mean narrowing down, you know, cutting out unnecessary stuff, you know, cutting out unnecessary people, because it's not always about quantity, it is about quality, and that's what you're trying to achieve in 2022. It's like it's a more maybe peaceful year, to where you can really step back and think, you know, like, okay, I don't need this, I don't need that. You know, if I wasn't doing this all day long, I could have so much more free time for this. It's about, again, making some adjustments in your life. Maybe not on a very big, significant level, right? Like moving across the world or something like that. Maybe it's not like that, right? But it is about making some adjustments, you know, for sure. And kind of making some decisions here, making some decisions that are mostly important to you, you know, not to anybody else, but to you. I would like to say also that another meaning of this could be that you are going to receive a final word in a legal situation of yours. Court situation, right? Something where maybe you have needed to seek assistance of a lawyer, for example, or a legal assistant, right? Maybe you're waiting on the judge's decision or something like that. I do believe that you are going to hear your answer then, towards the end of the year. Well, if this is a legal situation, what kind of answer will Libra receive? The Emperor, well, Five of Pentacles, High Priestess, Devil. I would say this, if it is about a divorce that you may potentially be, and this is very specific, you know, if this is about a divorce that you may potentially be going through in 2022, I'd be very careful against your opponent, because they can have more cards under their sleeves and the whole process may be challenging. However, it will come to its end. If you are not going through divorce and you don't necessarily have any kind of opponents, for example, I don't know, you're going through like an immigration case, for example, then this could be delays of some kind in the decision. However, things should work out in a way that is beneficial for every party. So it will have its own kind of twists, it will have its own turns and maybe potentially delays. However, I do not really see it being anything super crazy, but I also do not see it being super smooth. Okay, but there may be a certain legal situation that you may potentially be working through. However, if it's not a legal situation, if this is you making those final decisions, getting rid of something that you no longer need, well, there may be an important person in your life, potentially almost like an authority figure in some way, you know, someone that holds a substantial influence in your life, but also someone that you kind of have an unhealthy relationship with. That person could actually be on the list of people that you might be getting rid of, and it may be the hardest to get rid of this person, but you will achieve it. You will. Because that final decision to let it go, it comes from the emotional disconnect, right? It comes from the feeling of no longer vibing with the same person, with the same crowd, you know, with the same job situation, whatever it may be. A job very easily too, with the Emperor being here, you know, the Emperor kind of signifying the job, not just the boss, but the job itself. So there could be many different developments there. Yeah. What advice would you give Libra for 2022? Ace of Pentacles. Well, Ace of Pentacles is about keeping things stable. You know, now I'm really trying to hide from the sun. It is about keeping things stable. Making sure that you don't lose ground under your feet when you are doing this purging, this cleansing. Make sure that you have something that helps you feel secure, that helps you feel stable. Do not quit jobs out of the sudden, just randomly. You know, really take your steps with an analytical mindset, with a logical mindset. Create a strategy for yourself, because while, you know, it's about keeping things simple and keeping them stable, it's also about having maybe more of a strategy rather than a risk taking, you know, being more careful with how you approach people, how you approach situations. It's about finding that balance where you still feel stable and you are doing your purging. Does that make sense? Do not get rid of people and situations that maybe you have had a little bit of an unpleasant contact with. Really think it through. If these people are really not worth your time, if they showed you millions of times that they're not worth it for you, then do it. But do not get rid of absolutely everybody that you have had some sort of a disagreement with. Because with Ace of Pentacles, you know, the cards are asking you to still keep that balance. Do not take crazy risks. It's not the year to take the risks, okay? It's not the year to make those crazy changes. The changes will happen, but most likely on the inner level, like on the inner side, and they will come from you and they will come naturally. It won't be anything that's forced, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and if you do want a yearly Lenormand reading, a personal reading, I have it on my website until February 1st. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.